Okay, yeah, let's just get into it. Hey everybody, it's me and Buster Green, here with your weekly Toku news roundup real fast. Alright, so today we have updates on Super Sentai, the Maya Gate scandal, Gavan Infinity, and Kamen Rider. So let's get into it.
この番組はヨランのスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
Starting off with Super Sentai this week. Super Sentai is almost over. We're up to Gojuger episode 43. Gojuger 43 was a pretty interesting overstuffed Christmas episode where a majority of the show's villains were defeated in an interesting and surprising twist, seemingly putting the show in a very weird state where it seems like it's moved into its endgame now, and I can definitely see them ending it sooner rather than later, and it not making it to 50 episodes, which is what we were originally promised. Last week, me and some guy named D&G Licking had a conversation about if they'd make it to 50 or not. He seems semi-confident that they could at least make it up to 49, but I don't know. I feel like that's going to be tough for it to reach as it stands. Like, I'm feeling like maybe it could be over as soon as 45. Anyway, both Sentai and Rider are off next week for Christmas and New Year's holiday, and so that eliminates one more episode. Anyway, when Gojuger comes back, episode 44 is going to feature Origami Red, a fan creation created by a 10-year-old who won a character creation contest. And we got that suit revealed, and that was kind of interesting. We got a lot of positive takeaways from the fact that Origami Red, technically existing as the final Red Ranger now, is sort of a nice full circle idea to the concept that Ishinomori started with Aqua Ranger. And yeah, so we've seen the first Red Ranger. This is the last Red Ranger, and it's designed by a child, which is fitting since the first one was designed by Ishinomori. Many people are wondering what the original Sentai Origami Ranger would actually look like. Some people speculating they would all wear paper hats. But then the mood kind of turns sad when one guy noticed that Toei didn't bother to make the Origami Morpher, and that seemingly would have had a paper crane perilously balanced on Origami Red's wrist. And yeah, then people got depressed that even though the design is cool, like a handful of people were getting sad that they're teasing a new Sentai they'll never make, and that these are probably the last Super Sentai suits to ever be made, to ever come off like the factory line, and that in general Gojuger has really felt like a bad ending to the franchise, especially for all the controversy and drama that happened. And speaking of controversy and drama that happened, we turn again to the Maya Gate scandal, which is ongoing again this week. So yeah, we're back on Maya Gate because people care when I cover that. So apparently 43 had a mixed reception, with many people feeling that there was too much going on, and probably more scenes were cut out with Samino and replaced with Kohaku playing Samino, but maybe not properly. Some people were wondering out loud again if they combined a two-parter into a single episode. And we finally got one of the big mysteries of the Maya Gate scandal answered, and it comes with what is likely the final on-screen performance of Maya Imamori as Ichikawa Samino. A long time ago in the scandal, we had discussed that the release of Gojuger on DVD, when Maya Gate went down, only the first 12 episodes were released at the time of the scandal, and there were some early concerns that they would be completely unable to ever release the whole show on DVD because of the Maya scandal. And when Maya Gate went down, only the first 12 episodes were released. There were some early concerns that they would not be able to release the reruns because that would technically be a release of new Maya Imamori content. But as it turns out, the Part 2 DVD released with basically no problems and no fanfare. And yeah, so now as of like the 11th, episodes 13 through 24 have been released, and lo and behold, Maya was fine in the reruns. But on top of that, the DVD might sadly be the final Maya Imamori content ever released by Toei, as the DVD does apparently contain new bonus footage of Maya, seemingly in violation of the Maya Gate controversy. But it's a little vague, and it sounds like the content is just like a handful of deleted scenes and interviews. And so it seems like what happened, I want to say what happened, is possibly this managed to get around the law, because even though this DVD wasn't released, maybe the DVD was finished and it wasn't mass produced until after the controversy fully erupted. So even though it wasn't fully sold until now, it's possible that the production date of when the DVD was originally printed was somehow before the controversy, and that's like a loophole because they didn't make it available for purchase until now. I want to say this is probably the final current call for Maya as Sumino, but there are still 2 more DVD sets destined to eventually be released to cover the rest of the Gojuger episodes. So maybe there's a small chance there might be even more Cut Maya content on those last DVDs, but I would kind of doubt it because I think they're probably going to be a lot more savvy and they probably will hold back any more Cut Maya footage for the future DVDs as they'll be cautiously aware of the scandal going forward. I think just this second box set managed to come out before the scandal really changed like what was already set down. And that sucks because the original Maya Focus episode 38 will probably always be lost media. All right, moving on to happier things with the Gavan news. Yeah, Hyper Turbo Fox says that the Gavan Infinity suits have been revealed. And yeah, that's kind of what we're covering next. So there were some big early leaks of Gavan Infinity from these blurry scans in a wacky Doki Doki magazine that came out in Japan. There was a 5-page classic magazine article going over Gavan Infinity. And here's what we got going over it with you guys together. The first page shows everything and says that this new superhero show will air in 2026 in February at 9:30. Gavan Infinity is now confirmed to be the red guy, and his special weapon seems to be Sharavan's Crime Buster or something like it. Maybe it's got a different name. The silver Gavan is now called Gavan Bushido. Seemingly his name was changed. It was previously listed as Gavan Samurai up to now. And we knew before that the gold one was called Luminous. He is now confirmed to be called Gavan Luminous. So yeah, then there's like a weapon breakdown for the 3 Gavans. Infinity just has the Crime Buster. Bushido has the Crime Buster and a custom Zanglass sword from Don Brothers. They seem to have modified it a little bit more since last time when they got called out for prop recycling. But it's definitely a similar blade weapon. It looks like they just modified it to look more like an original thing. Like they put the Space Police logo on it. But it's definitely still got the Zanglass sword silhouette if you were to directly overlap them. And then lastly, Luminous also has the Zanglass sword and a bigger gun, which looks a lot more interesting. The reuse of the Zanglass sword makes people wonder, since this is a multiverse story, if there is a chance that it will cross over backwards into Super Sentai in some way. I think there's a high chance it will, especially because Gavan used to be on Deca Ranger and Gokaiger and all that. Finally, there's a minor rumor that Luminous might be female. I'm pretty sure this rumor is bullshit. I think if he was female, they'd make more of a big deal out of it because, you know, if they're going to announce a female character, I think they'd announce that straight out to try and get more fans interested because female heroes are always a big news and that would be big enough news upon itself. I don't think Luminous is female. I think he's just a skinny guy. Hyper Turbo Fox says the Gavan suits are fire. Yeah, I completely agree with that, man. They all look super freaking cool. I'm very excited for Gavan Infinity. Toku Prime says, I hope we get more Gavan Infinity toy reveals. Love to see the new Crime Buster. I don't think I got into this in detail, but Gavan Luminous has like a weird giant gun. I'm not sure what his deal with the gun is, but it looks way different because Infinity and Bushido both have the Crime Buster, but Luminous has like a bigger, like kind of beetle looking gun. It's really weird. I don't know what the deal is with it. Anyway, another part, according to the Gavan Infinity leaks, is that Infinity is going to be a multiverse story and that these 3 Gavans are the same guy from 3 different universes or 3 different Gavans all trying to be the new Gavan. I'm not sure if that exactly means that there are 3 different multiverses of the same guy like in Rick and Morty, but it seems like there's a lot of damn multiverse stories going on lately. Hyper Turbo Fox says, I wonder if all 3 are main protagonists. Yeah, I'm like trying to figure that out myself because everyone's like debating right now if the 3 of them are going to team up like the classic 3 sheriffs teamed up or if it's going to be like more of like a multiverse rivalry situation since it seems like they're all like insisting that they're the successor to the original Gavan. So yeah, it seems like there's like some cool stakes for Gavan Infinity. Anyway, I'm excited for Gavan Infinity. It seems like a really cool story, and I really need to finish watching Sharavan, so I'm caught up on the classic Space Sheriffs. Lastly, the final page of the article goes over Gavan Infinity's robot. I think... Hold on. I had the name of the robot written down here. I can barely read the kanji on this because it's like blurry. According to this leak, the robot is named Cosmo Gabarian GCR. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but that's the rumor right now. So yeah, this looks like... It looks like sort of a derivation on like Sherivan's battle robot, the Grand Birth. Because Gavan's robot didn't turn into a robot, it turned into a dragon. Anyway, this robot is kind of getting some flack from Senti fans saying it looks a little bit less cool than a Megazord. The robot, to me, it looks a little bit like Megatron from Transformers. It looks like it turns into like a Wave Rider from Gundam, and it looks like it turns into a gun. But yeah, it's obviously a silver robot that transforms into a gun, so that just screams Megatron to me. I'm assuming in typical Space Sheriff fashion, it'll work as Gavan Infinity's mothership. Hey, comment section, do you guys have any feelings about this robot? Let me know. I think it looks kind of cool, but yeah, people are just like holding it to Super Sentai standards and I guess expecting better. I don't know, like the frame looks a little bit weak for a robot, but you know, it's a guy in a suit, so they always have to like work from there and like build up. I mean, it transforms, so that's cool. I do like that it has a Gundam Wave Rider. That is actually pretty awesome. Like that completely like satisfies me as like a Zeta Gundam fan. Oh, Toku Prime thinks the robot looks kind of cool too. Yeah, I don't know why everyone's hating on the robot. I think it's a cool giant gun robot. Jay says Gabarion. I feel like it would be like Gavalion as a proper translation, similar to the Galleon. Although it's interesting to see what the official translation is, though. Yeah. I mean, the notes I've got are pretty straightforward. Hold on. They might be translated badly from Japanese. Yeah, it definitely says Gabarion or Gavarion. Maybe it's Gavarion. That would go with the everything is Gavion themed or Gavan themed. Because it's definitely got the Gav from Gavan. So yeah, maybe it's Cosmo Gavarion or Cosmo Gavalion. Okay, yeah, I can see why this is a slippery slope. Okay. All right. Any other questions about Tokusatsu before I move on this week? All right, next up on the topic list is Kamen Rider Zeztz. Minor spoilers for Zeztz if you're not caught up. So episode 15 ended up being kind of a Nox-focused episode, the first one we've ever had. And it seems like they spent the majority of the episode dwelling on the concept that maybe Nox is not that bad. And if he's not that bad, at the very least, he's justified. But then again, if he's not that bad, does that mean Zero is bad? So we got a pretty big look at who he is as a person. He used to be an agent. He used to be agent number 4 until Zero fucked him over, leaving him to die. And now he just kind of does whatever he wants. But at the same time, he's definitely having issues like waking up his body. Nem also appears to him, which also seems like a major character development moment. I kind of feel like only good guys can see Nem. Anyway, we still don't know what the full deal is with like the code organization. Zeztz ends up defeating Nox and another monster. And then Nox finally wakes up and just when it seems like he might come around to team up with the good guys, he instead teams up with a super evil lady called the Lady, which is a big fake out. And yeah, the Lady seems 100% evil. Also, in the IRL storyline, the cops almost caught Nox's human body, but then he erased the door, which might be my favorite part of the ep. I mean, that's so simple, but like, I'm just amused that he erased the door and just like left them hanging there. Anyway, I'm not sure where the show is going, but I do think Nox is on a path to either becoming a good guy or a non-affinity aligned anti-hero. I'm still not sure what Code's deal is yet, but the Lady seems to be another bad guy, so I feel like with the reveal of the Lady, Code is off the hook for being the antagonist, but I'm still not sure if they're squeaky clean either because Zero was pretty vague and like just ominous all throughout the episode.